What's up guys, Anders here with another Black Desert video. Today we're going to go over the update for the test server this week. Remember, Global Labs test server updates usually take 1 to 2 weeks to appear on our live servers, assuming there are no delays and no changes. Now the main content update for this week is the reveal of mansions, or I guess they're calling it the manor system depending on what we end up getting as a translation. The manor is going to be located just east of Heidel and will be able to be decorated with special furniture items as long as you complete the questline to unlock the manor and you pay 50 contribution points needed to use the manor. Now on top of that CP cost, you're going to need to pay 5 million silver per day as a form of tax for owning the manor. This tax can be waived if you manage to buy a special house deed available in limited quantities through the Imperial Auction. Now the Imperial Auction, for those of you that weren't around when we had this feature added, is a bidding phase mechanic that allows you and everyone else to bid on one special item. There is no ceiling to how high a price of an item can go for. Back in the day, we've had Arsha PvP skins in this auction house, dream horses, and the incredibly rare Black Pegasus to be available through this Imperial Auction. I can't remember how much the Black Pegasus went for. It must have been at least 30 to 40 billion silver or something like that. It's hard to say how much this deed will go for, but assume it's going to be expensive since there are now a lot more wealthy players now than there were back then when the Imperial Auction system was implemented. Hopefully they use the Imperial Auction as a way to get more rare items for the manor system as well, if they want to lean into that exclusive and elite theme of owning a manor. Now in terms of customization, you can do a lot more than just your typical housing furniture placement we have right now in residences. There will be different sections pertaining to how you want to place your items. For example, the complete outside gardens are customizable with different gardens, plants, statues, trees, you name it. The interior items include elaborate furniture, chandeliers, and there's even a terrace that you can customize. They also have effect items that give glowing and lighting effects to different parts of your manor. There is no point system like we have right now with residences, so they don't want to have you pay real money for furniture in hopes you get more points and be ranked top of your server just because you like to hit that swipe button. Instead, there's going to be events that will reward those that take the time to decorate their homes instead of just stacking Pearl Shop items just for points. As to the frequency of these events, we don't know. As we know with Pearl Abyss, if you've been playing a long time, they like to do events for new things for about a couple of months and then they forget about it. Hopefully this manor system is not the same case, but we'll have to wait and see. Manor furniture cannot be installed in normal residences, but normal furniture can be placed inside the manor. The manor items can be crafted or obtained in a number of ways. The more luxurious the item, the more difficult it's going to be to obtain. They showed off a number of fountains and chandeliers and other items. For example, the mermaid fountain seems to be obtained by finding a treasure chest under the ocean. The horse fountain can be obtained from the Stonetail Hill Horse Ranch, and one of the chandeliers can be obtained by learning a recipe from Atoraxxion. The fireplace, which looks really nice, can be obtained from a crow's nest item. There are some great street lamps as well for the exterior that can be crafted by talking to Shikatu and learning that recipe. There is a quest called Trial of Florence, the Gardener of Atoraxxion, that allows you to get some garden plots for the exterior as well. There is a lion statue that is described as obtained from the hero of Serendia who fought back against the encroaching darkness. So that can mean from Elvia Zones or simply the whole Belmorn situation in the main story. It's hard to say right now. There is a stable as well that can be obtained if you seemingly are proficient in horse breeding and taming, and the lighting effects can be placed in several ways with different colors as well. I believe they're calling it fairy lights. Lore-wise, this manor belongs to the Lord of Heidel, Domingat. You talked to him a few times through the main story, but he seems to have decided to do a sort of Airbnb kind of thing and let us pay some money to stay at his mansion, like a kind of daily rental situation. I like it, not bad, at least we get manors. Unfortunately, I can't really show you in-game footage of the manor at the moment, but come Monday, the test server should have the manor implemented, and hopefully I can show you a more in-depth look at how it will look. It just seems that there were delays in the office in Korea, and now Friday coming out, it's kind of the weekend time. They're not really going to be around for any sort of feedback that's coming, so they extended it till Monday for us to get the manor. So hopefully we have manor on Monday. We can check it out, give some feedback, and then see it within a week or two on live servers. As for the rest of the test server notes, we have some more animation links and smoothing for Corsair. The first week of changes were huge in my opinion for Corsair, so we'll see how the sweep of changes for this week goes with the class. The class honestly feels very different than the day one Corsair in terms of how fluid it is right now. Less bugs, of course. We're still waiting any shred of news for Awakening. We have nothing. We know nothing, so hopefully next week we'll hear or see at least a teaser for what that Awakening could be for Corsair. Personally, I'm waiting for the Awakening before I decide whether or not I'll stick to the class, mainly because I prefer my Awakening classes to flow more smoothly and have similar mobility style to their pre-Awakened. I know a lot of you guys messaged me and said you want the Awakenings to be completely different, and that's completely fair. We'll see what we get. I see a lot of people also thinking that Awakening weapon is gonna be a trident, others really hoping for that gunner vibe with pistols. I'm leaning more towards a trident since that makes more sense, and they did say in the past that they don't like gunner, they don't want gunners right now. That could change, of course. They always change their mind. If it's gunner, I'll be happily mistaken. But the reason why I think it's a trident, basically in the story through the succession, you find out that she has mermaid blood, and it kind of makes sense with the whole lore and the theme of her being a mermaid. We'll see. It's kind of unpredictable sometimes the way Pearl Abyss makes Awakenings, so hopefully within the next week or two we see at least a teaser for Corsair Awakening. Now Atoraxxion, that's coming next week, and we should now have season difficulty Atoraxxion. Now this means if you have at least duo to Vala gear, which is not hard, you'll be able to enter Atoraxxion on season channels and complete the dungeon with 4 other people. This means we now have 3 different difficulties for the dungeon. Seasons needing duo to Vala or better, normal needing 250 Kudum AP or better, and Elvia needing at least 280 Kudum AP. Now the season reward chest, it's going to be different than the normal one. So this one is going to give you some seasonal resources, some echoes, enhanced Vala accessories, while the normal one has the other stuff, Jonas fragments, scrolls, and a chance at a compass piece. So keep that in mind. Now, guild recruiting received a huge update as well. We can now send invites to people to join our guilds, even if the person who applied is not on the same channel as you. The contract is the standard 15-day minimum pay, but this makes it so much better to get people into that guild. This applies to guild applications. I'm not sure if it applies to normal guild recruiting through, say, server chat, but we'll see. It's a good change. The next step would be auto-invite people who apply to your guild, so you remove the need to wait for them to be online. This is obviously for casual guilds, because for more PvP focused guilds, you're kind of needing to trial your members to make sure they're up to whatever standards you've set. But most of the guilds in the game are casual, so I think a lot of people are going to be happy with this change. Now, marketplace transfer of items is now a lot more convenient thanks to a new mechanic that lets us move up to 20 items at once in the central market to your storage or your inventory. So this is very useful for items like scrolls, black magic crystals, and farming seeds, since they can take a while to place in your inventory one at a time. The only limitation is that for gear, they have to be the same item level to move the items in batches, and for pen items, you can still only move one at a time. So that's the test server updates in a nutshell. There are a couple things I want to go over that were also updated in live servers this week that have to pertain to some changes for test server this week. So the Caphras update. Caphras drop rate increased on most zones, but on test server, Olans received another buff as well, so expect that to be coming very, very soon. As for the Caphras drop increase that is live, a lot of places that were previously subpar in money per hour have been boosted greatly. Massive pure magic is dropping a lot more than usual as well, so all in all, a big and welcome change that will honestly benefit pretty much everyone who grinds for income and progression. This has, however, had some negative effects for life skills. They've been pushed lower in the totem pole in terms of flexible incomes. There are just not that many ways to make nearly as good of an income with some life skills as with grinding, but hopefully we see some compensation in the future for those players who really enjoy life skills outside of the typical gathering and cooking for money. Afuaru, by the way, is spawning a lot more on seasons especially, but he is kind of hard to see sometimes. So on test server, there's been an update that makes him glow, so you should be able to see him and figure out where he is in the groups of mobs so he doesn't get lost as often. And that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think about today's video in the comments or over on our community Discord. We're now public and accepting new members, so follow that link, react to the comments to get your member role, and say hello. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload my next video. Remember, bell is good. As always, guys, thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.